Hey, what's up, Jay? This is a quick demo video for you for your Tusken Slayer by Ultimate Works. Just got this done today. This was a neat little saber. I actually modeled up a chassis a long time ago for someone else for this saber, and I finally got to do it myself. Except that one was a CFX, and this is actually a Proffie build. So thanks for video chatting with me, but I like to do these anyway, just so you have something to refer back to. This installed the Proffie V2. You've got a 2-button setup here. So your front button will be your activation, and then your back button will be your auxiliary. This is a completely removable chassis. So I went to Home Depot and I got a longer bolt here, and then I shaved down the bolt just to where I needed it. I like to use the bolt for a clocking mechanism for the chassis, and then also it locks the chassis down once you put it all the way in. So to get to everything, what you want to do first, this will come to you. This Covertech will come to you tightened. So you want to back it up to where it's loose like that. It's just kind of wiggling around, but you don't have to take it all the way out. And then once it's loose, you can unscrew this guy right here. Take this off, and then with your finger, just come off on the other side. Don't try not to press down on the pins. It doesn't take much. You can just push it right out there, and then it comes right out here. And that bolt for the Covertech slides along this channel that I made in my chassis right here. And then the channel stops where the chassis needs to stop. So that bolt will keep this orientated correctly this way, and then it stops it when as far as it goes into the into the saber. It stops it where it needs to. You've got your your two switches here, your activation and your auxiliary. And then I put 2 LEDs here, a red one and a green one, to match your red and green lenses over here. These are regular LEDs, so what I had to do is I glued them. I first chopped off the tops of the LEDs. I went right down to the diode. I didn't touch the diode though, so that way I could get that low profile for the LEDs. And then once everything was glued in there and it was secure, I did go over each LED with a little bit of clear nail polish to give it that clear look. It helps shine better, and it shines through your saber right. So that's just a little something that I had to do some modifications here. You got your Proffie board here. It's not adhesed down to the shelf, so you will need to pop it up to get to your SD card and your micro USB slot, but then you can just snap it right back down into place. That's what I did there. I did put this little divot here. It's a 1/4 inch wide divot for some art tape or something in the future. If you keep popping this board in and out of this chassis and it happens to wear out on you over time, you can put a little piece of tape around that board to hold it in place. But I don't ever see that you need that. I just like to put it there just in case. Okay, you got a 24mm Smuggler's Outpost speaker in the back here, removable battery. Your spring side is going to be the negative side of your battery. And then your Ultimate Works kit came with this PCB right here. This is the PCB that they send out with a lot of their kits. I opted to go with CCSabers on this guy. It's got 8 pixels compared to the 3 that you've got on this. And then also I have this chassis already modeled for the CCSabers LEDs, and on this guy slightly bigger. So it is a lot brighter than what you've got here. I've done these in the past. They're still good, but this one's brighter. And then it works the same as far as your NeoPixel blade is concerned. So we'll throw a battery in. You'll see your LEDs going when you put your battery in. It'll cycle from red to green, and it does that. It's basically the cave scene as far as programming goes. It's just something I like to do when I have these two going. So I left that alone. You do have the same programming for these LEDs on every sound font, but you can program them however you like. And then I do have the stock sound fonts on here for you. So if you're wanting something past that, you're gonna just pop that board up and load it in. So we leave the bolt in the Covertech in there just a hair inside the chamber here, so that we have something to put this in and line it up with. If you don't line it up properly, it won't go. But if you turn until you catch that bolt, it'll go exactly where it's supposed to. And then it stops where it's supposed to as well. So from there, we can just take an Allen key, we come over to this Covertech and just crank down on her. Sometimes I like to give it a good press the activation just to make sure I'm in the right spot, but you will be every time. So when that happens and you've locked down your Covertech, you've got that speaker sticking out right there. This actually goes over the speaker and locks in place. I did put that little spacer in there just in case, to keep the speaker off of the back of this pommel piece, but it doesn't touch it. That was just a precautionary measure on my part, but I didn't have to do that, turned out. So we'll screw that in. Now your Saber's solid. And you can see your LEDs are shining through your lenses there. So your LEDs match your lenses. You do have motion control. All your LEDs are lighting up there like they should. Nice smooth swing. Auxiliary down here. And then you can twist off. You can use the activation button to turn it on if you like. Just tap it. And then tap it again to turn it off. Just like that. Now, I did lock down this shroud for you as well, like I told you about. It was wobbling just a hair. So I took the shroud off. I put a couple drops of E6000 around the tip of this Saber, the main piece. And then I slid the shroud back on, and then I locked everything back down. So that E6000 was put on about an hour ago. You know, sometime by the morning after it's cured, this thing will be as solid as can be. This gold piece right here, this gold greebly, is your blade retention. So you want to back that out of the slot. We'll put your blade in. Lock down your blade retention. It's the gold one, remember, not this guy. This is just for aesthetics. So now we've got your blade in, activation. Everything's looking good there. Just tapping for blaster deflex. Flash on clash. Turn it off. We can do motion controls. Twist off. And then we tap your auxiliary to change sound fonts. I do have some different blade profiles going on with these stock fonts. I just like to play with them a little bit. It's a little bit more interesting to show it off than just a regular normal color. We'll just cycle through a few of these. It's got really good sound. If you got to go with a 24mm speaker, Smuggler's Outpost is the way to go, even with 28. Now to play your soundtrack, so you just hold down the activation for a second and let go. And then you turn it off the same way. Just hold it down for a second and let go. And then that turns your soundtracks off. We'll do another. I think we're back to the beginning now. So this was the green blade we started out with. We'll go ahead and turn it off. And then we'll take your blade out, and then I'll just show you how to take everything out. Real simple, same way we put it in, right? But at least we'll do it one time on video. So remember, we're gonna take this Covertech and we're gonna loosen it up. A couple turns, like maybe a turn or two, but you don't have to take it out. Prefer you don't take it out actually, because that's why I put that channel in the chassis, so that it can only slide in and out one way. And we take this guy out, push it right out. It comes right out just like that. And then from the positive side, pop your battery right out. And then there you go. That's everything. And I'll just put this back in here for safekeeping. Yeah, that's everything. So let me know if you got any questions I didn't cover in this video or in our chat. And if you don't, I will get the Saber out in the mail to you tomorrow. Thanks, man.